Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here I'm going to show you how I put this hair weft into a wig. I've had this hair for quite some time. I fixed it on my hair, like I did a sewing with it on my head for once. I had it once and I wore it for a period of about a month before I took it down. So now I want to put it in a wig to make it easier in the future when I want to wear it. So this is what I am doing now. So this is going to be just a simple round stitch wig. There is no closure, so I'm just going to do a round closure. Like there's no closure, so it's going to be a round stitch which I'll now part to make it either a center part, side part, or a bang. A bang, that means you know it commonly in Nigeria as a fringe wig. So that's the style I'm about to do. So here I've gone ahead to wear the wig cap on the dummy, and I've also secured the wig cap with pins on the dummy, and I'm going ahead with my needle and thread, and I am sewing the hair. So this is a hand sewn wig, and this is how I started. So I'll be going like so, as you're seeing me doing the video, until I get to the top. It's until I get to the top that I'll start to sew it round and round. Well, since I already know what I'm doing, I didn't have to use chalk or a marker to line up the areas where I will be sewing the hair onto the cap. So I'm just going as as the spirit leads, you know. So that is what I am doing here. And as you can see, it's quite taxing. It was a bit of work, not being able to hold the hair, because you already know the line, you already know how much space you want to give between wefts, but sometimes you have to hold the hair down, otherwise you will not be able to get it in that perfect line. But I was able to devise a means to be able to do that, and that was the use of pin. So I will just, after I turn from a particular line, after I'm done sewing one line and I turn to the next line, I will measure it and then use pin to hold the weft on the line that I'm going to sew it on. You will see me do it here in this video. So you see the pin, I'll just hold it down with the pin. That way the weft is not moving. You can see the space between one weft and the other. You can see that line. So that's the space I'm taking as I'm going with the hair. So this actually depends on how much hair you have and the type of hair you're making. You know, if you don't have so much, it means that the space would be wider. If you have so much hair, you can make it thinner, or you know, however, that it depends on what you have to work with. So that's what I'm doing. When I get to the point where the pin is, I remove the pin, sew down the weft to the end of the cap, and then by the time I turn over the weft, I'll use the pin again to secure the hair. So at this point, I've sewn this hair to this point. So now I'm going to start going round and round and round. So I'm going to start doing that now. You see me giving the sign of how I'm going to go round and round. There's no guideline to this. I just go ahead with sewing the hair round and round and round. I still have enough hair left, so these are the things you consider when you're making this style, or when you're fixing your hair. You consider how much hair you have. If the hair is not enough, you may go and loosen some from the back, but I still have enough left on ground, so I'll just be going round and round and round, and still using the same method of using pin to secure the weft on the cap along the lines that I'm going to sew on. That method still applies here, so I just go ahead to do that, and then the process continues. So now I just moved the pin, and then I'm going to sew the weft down to the end of the cap, and then by the time I'm turning, I'm going to use the pin again to secure the weft. Now at this stage, I am not going to the distance between one weft and the next is not going to be so wide. The reason is so that by the time you're parting, you will not see by the time you part the hair, whether it's going to be a full bang. Well, a full bang will still be covered. It will still cover the space between the wefts, to still cover the skull, like the base of your head, the scalp. But if it's going to be a side part, if you're going to part it to side or center, or if you're going to give it any form of pattern, you will need to open up the hair. And at that point, if the space between wefts is too much, then it will not be fine. Trust me, it will not be fine weft. By the time you open up the hair, you will now be seeing the head, like the scalp, and that wouldn't be nice. So here the spacing between weft is not as wide as it. As a matter of fact, it's like I'm sewing it on top of the other, on top of one weft, on top of the previous weft. So I'm coming in with another weft, it's going to be on top of another weft. So I went so round and round and round and round until I was able to close up the gap. And you can see I'm using the straight needle. I didn't learn how to make or sew in a wig using the bent needle. I see people who use the bent needle. Well, everybody uses what works for them or what they know how to use best. For me, this needle works. I've never tried using the bent needle. Maybe one day I'll bend the needle or just get it from the market to see what it's going to be like. But for now, this needle works for me and it works perfectly fine for me. So here I'm almost closing the net, and you see how much space I have left. I wanted to try something, but it didn't work, so I just continued with going round and round and round until the space was completely closed. You see, I wanted to maybe like hold do the I don't know what they call that method, but I wanted to do the weft where you have to hold it and then do it round. I can't explain it. When I see it, I will show you the method much later, but I don't have it here. So here I'm almost closing the space. The idea is, no matter what, just keep going round and round. Don't sew it together. Don't pull one end to close it. Just keep going round and round and round until the space is completely closed. That is what I did here, and it worked just fine. I didn't need to take out the weft and then put it together with a glue, or so that didn't work for me. I couldn't get that done when I'm not using glue. You know, to do that I have to use a glue or just use if I do that, it will be difficult to use a thread to secure it. So I just continued with the method I was using here, and I think here I've finally closed the wig and I'm done with fixing here. See, there's no magic to sewing a wig to a cap, you know, if you're using your hand. If you're going to use a machine, the only difference I think is, well, you will get a flatter wig, but also you may be faster too, to be a quicker process. But once you know how to use a needle and thread to mend your clothes, you can do this. It's just the same process. So now I used a leave-in conditioner first, and here I'm using a serum, nothing fancy, nothing extra, just something to give it a shine. So now I'm done with the wig, and I gave it a bit of more combing, and then I will go ahead and try it on for you guys to see what it looks like. And then you also see that it has the bang full. I have not parted the hair to the side or center, but it has the bang full, and I'm going to cut the bang with the wig on my head. I didn't want to cut it with I didn't want to cut the bang with it on the dummy, so I wanted it to be precise for myself. So I went ahead to cut it on my head. So this is me cutting out the bang. This is just a full bang, not a side bang or anything. So I took out this much from the front and then cut. And when you're cutting, you don't want to cut close to, you know, this hair is more like a bouncy hair. So when you're cutting, you don't want to cut close to your forehead. That will make it shorter. So I pulled and then cut around my nose. I didn't want to see, so that when it bounces back, it goes just where you want it to stop, you know. So here I think I am done with cutting out the bang. Okay, just a bit from this side, and that is it. So here I am done with the hair, and this is the final look. I will also show you different styles, different ways you can wear the hair. So you can make it a side bang, which is what I'm doing here now. Here all you have to do is just part it to the side you want, and then with the comb you start combing. You see why I was what I said earlier about when you're sewing the round stitch, you make it close to each other. If you open the side bang, you see it's not showing, so it's just everywhere on top of the head is closed. So here I'm doing a side part too. So I don't know, I have for every for every way I'm able to style this hair, I have a kiss for you, my viewer watching this hairstyle. So this is a side part, depending on which style you want to do. You can do it anyhow. You can have, today you can go with a full bang, tomorrow you can do a side bang, next tomorrow you can do a center part, and this is what a center part looks like. This is another kiss I have for you. So here, oh god, well, this is just me being excited. Whenever I try to do something and the result comes out well, I am always like very excited with the results, and I tend to play around. So this is me just playing, and I don't know. So finally, this is the final look. So guys, thank you for watching this video. Do like, share and subscribe. Thank you, and bye.